everyone. I'm Angelo. I'm the host of this show. It's called Let Me Sleep on It. It's a show about dreams and discussing our dreams. And I'm here with my guest, Dirk. Dirk, you've got some things to say about your dreams. Let's start, Dirk. What's a dream you can remember? And let's talk about it and let me sleep on
it. Last week I had a dream that a good coworker of mine, a good friend of mine, a guy named Rusty, I went camping with him. And so I'm in his RV and I'm with his adult daughter's there. And it was the weirdest thing where I go, "Hey, how's your wife doing?" Or "Where's your wife?" And the minute I say that, I realized that he had told me she died. And I run out of his RV across the campground, so ashamed and embarrassed, and then I woke up. So that was the most recent dream.
So that stressed you out to the point where you woke up at that point?
I called a mutual friend of ours and I told him that because I thought he would find it interesting. And then,
what did he say?
I don't really have Rusty's phone number anymore, but we keep in touch through Facebook. So I'll write it out one day.
Is his wife around still?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Everything's fine. It's just the weirdest thing that
And this was just last week, huh?
Yeah.
So have you haven't seen them in a while, Rusty and his wife?
I haven't seen Rusty in years, but I know how they're doing through a mutual friend of ours who I've reacquainted myself with. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. But you're okay now. It was a little. It sounds like stressful.
I was just so embarrassed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'd be embarrassed too. Well, thank you for sharing that one. So let me tell you about one of my dreams. This one.
Was I in it?
Stands out. No, I've never really met you, or I don't remember you.
Right,
but
so now it was precog. Okay.
When I was young, I had very vivid dreams. Usually, I was being chased by the police or criminals, or in this case, zombies.
Yeah.
So I went through a period where I was being chased by a lot of zombies.
I did that too.
In dreams.
Elementary school. Yeah, a lot of being chased.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. For some people, I never had pleasant dreams. I swear, you'd think I shouldn't be allowed on the street if you saw my dreams, but I was being chased, and here's the little twist. I forget how old I was, 8, 10, something. I was being chased in my neighborhood in Arlington, Virginia, growing up. I was running down the street, and there were hordes of zombies, and the Mad Hatter was chasing us from Alice in Wonderland. And Woody Harrelson was driving away in a limo to escape, and I jumped on the top of the limo and tried to grab the sunroof to get away from Mad Hatter bouncing down the street, and zombies were, coming after that. And it was such a vivid dream. And then, like 15 years later, 20 years later, Zombieland comes out, where Woody Harrelson is being chased by zombies. So it's almost like I could have called his agent and told him, like, hey, I got to
make some money if you wrote that script.
Yeah.
So, all right, was the Mad Hatter a zombie too?
No, Mad Hatter was just Mad Hatter from the animated Alice in Wonderland, because that was the one that was around when I was a kid in the book, but I didn't. I wasn't much of a reader as a kid. Didn't have the attention span for it.
So did you dream when you were asleep right here?
No, I got to go into a deep sleep.
Yeah.
Like I got to be in it for a couple hours, or on the verge of falling asleep, and I'll have vivid dreams, like where you wake up and then you feel like you're falling.
Yeah.
And you just jump right up. So
yeah.
That was one of my earliest dreams.
Did you ever have dreams about Adam Papagan, our producer?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
So, Dirk,
yes.
Back to you. Enough about me.
Enough about you.
Maybe what's a dream you can think of back from your youth? Maybe you were about my age when I mentioned the dream I had.
Well, when I was a kid in elementary school, and especially the younger I was, I had two dreams. The main thing was I was always being chased, and then the other one's being like falling. Even though I'm not scared of heights, I after I saw Hindenburg, and then I started looking at pictures of blimps and stuff of the old days, and I always kept having dreams that I was on top of a blimp. Somehow I got out. I don't know how I would get there. I'd even ask myself, how did I get there? But I'd be in the dream. I'd be on top of the blimp. I couldn't go around to get back inside because you'd fall off. So I kept sliding, and then I would slide this way, and the wind would blow me, and I could just see like forever, and it was the weirdest thing. But one dream I had was the most interesting, and it seemed the most real. I was going through a period where I was being really verbally abusive to my mom. And I was a little kid. I was like 7 or whatever. And normally I was pretty cool, but I was just going through a period where I knew in myself I was going too far. Not that she was saying I was, but I knew I was going too far. And these two angels came into my room, and I remember they were like dressed in white. I couldn't tell if they had wings or not, but they didn't have faces. And they came in and they roughed me up. They said, "You're being mean to your mom." And they punched me and they pushed me around. They threw me on the ground. They were kicking me. And then I woke up and I was on the ground. Because normally you wake up, you're just in your bed. You didn't really move. I was on the ground and I felt like I got slapped around.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's it sounds like a health hazard when you fall out of your bed when you're sleeping.
Yeah, yeah. So I had angels beat me up.
You ever tell anyone about that? But at the time
No, not the
when it
angel
happened?
one. No.
Okay.
No.
Wow,
But,
this is a world premiere of your dream.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing that one. I had another dream. I would have these ones. I saw the Terminator at a very young age.
All right.
Very, very young, to where I didn't even know that the Terminator character was a robot.
No.
I thought it was a human being. So when he did that surgery scene where he's digging out his eye, I thought, like, man, this guy's just a badass. Like, he's able to cut out his own eye and doesn't even worry about the pain. So, and that movie terrified me. So I had a steady flow of dreams about the Terminator, and I was so scared to sleep on the bunk beds in the upper floor of my house when I was a kid. I insisted on sleeping for a while after they were built in the basement, practically on the floor, on a mattress on the floor, because I would have nightmares that like the Terminator was coming to chase me and kill me, and only if I stayed perfectly still would he like not notice me and then start moving away. But then if I moved again, he would chase me, and so it was terrifying, thinking like he'll always be I can't stay still forever. And that was just a recurring thing. I just constant
I almost
terror.
never had nightmares as I became an adult. Until I saw around, I don't know, I saw the first Alien, but it didn't really get triggered until I saw like Alien 2 and 3. And then I was like, all right, I got to they start triggering these nightmares I would have every now and then where I would be sleeping and they're coming in the window. And they're super powerful. You can't stop them, And so I started having these dreams where, and then when I would wake up, I would look around the house and I realized my house is not able to withstand an alien crawling through a window. It would just go through in a second. So then I would be up, and the rest of the night I would be like not sleeping well, knowing, wow, my house is completely not secure. There's no way I could barricade. If anything ever did come, it would just come in.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, and it was those damn movies. So
I've had a lot of.
So I don't see any
nightmares.
more of those damn alien movies.
Yeah.
Because they're just I don't know.
Nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
When people talk about that, they're joking, but we're being serious here. That was actually fueling your nightmares. The Terminator, and obviously zombie movies apparently were fueling, and Alice in Wonderland. So cartoons were too. I just had them all over the place.
I had now I did have a couple more dreams that might be interesting.
Do tell.
My mom died just before I turned 16. I mean, like within a few weeks I turned 16. So all through my 16th year and 17th year, I had a couple dreams where my mom visited me, and it seemed real.
Wow.
So yeah, where she came and she talked to me, and so yeah, it was weird. It was, and then my brother visited me once or twice because he had to move away, because and so then he visited me once or twice in a dream, and that felt real too, even though he was alive. Because I've read that astral projection or something. He could have visited me. I don't know. But anyway, so that seemed real, but mostly it was her because she's really gone.
I've had dreams where like I'm in fights, and I think this happens when I'm sleeping and cutting off my circulation, because it's weird pressure on my body, and that translates into like a dream where someone's beating me up or strangling me, and I'm having to fight them, and I'm terrified that if I kill them, or if I have to kill them, my family's going to be devastated. I'm going to get charged for murder and stuff. Like, it is so
Oh.
disturbing. And then I wake up and inevitably it's like I'm sleeping on my side, or I'm just in a weird position, my arms hunched over, and I don't know if maybe I'm like that over there. That is archive footage of me sleeping.
Yeah. Now, when was that taken?
I think that was 2016. That was one of the first nights I
You
ever
know,
slept in a
if I-
full-size bed.
If I ever need someone to set up a camera, I'll have you do it. But if I ever need
Yeah.
someone to light a set, I will not have you do it.
Yeah,
That sucks.
That
lighting sucks.
it's the
You
sleep
couldn't put a little.
cinematography.
You couldn't put a little thing there where it just
No, because I
where it would
wouldn't
be
able
on
to
you,
sleep.
but then it wouldn't.
No, I couldn't sleep if it was directly on me. I'm a
Not
very
even
light
directly
sleeper.
on you. I mean, just not so it just does not directly go into the camera. So anyway, just-
No, I was bouncing
little-
it off the wall for that reason. Yeah, I feel your criticism. It's just
I'm
sleep
just trying
cinematography.
to give you advice.
the
you know.
the technology of the cameras hadn't advanced by that point. Now I'm sure they're much more adept at low
They
light.
invented these things called lampshades now, and then you can direct the light
And
anywhere you want.
it's a delicate
yeah.
balance. It's a,
Right.
a delicate game. But yes, I'm a sleep cinematographer basically. So
Yeah.
I'm an expert at this. I've done this
So
several times.
you filmed your mom sleeping.
Yeah, I did.
All right.
And she didn't like that very much because
Yeah.
she couldn't sleep with the light on. And the problem is, if you don't have the light on, you can't see anybody. So if she
Yeah.
got up and she's yelling at the camera, I didn't stay there and film. Like, I turned the
Yeah.
camera on, I left to go to
'Cause
work
you gotta
for
go
the
to
night.
sleep. Oh, okay.
I worked
Where do you
late.
work?
Well, I don't work there anymore, but I used to work at a bar. I was a bouncer.
Oh.
It's okay. Let's segue into something here. I would often have dreams about work where I have a very obsessive mind, where if I'm doing a repetitive motion during the day,
Yeah.
I'll dream. I'll first of all lie in bed, and as I'm falling asleep, like when I worked at a movie theater, I'd handle hundreds of exchanges at the register for the concession stand, and you'd have to do them super fast. We'd get like 3,000 to 4,000 people a day in there sometimes. I wouldn't handle them all
Friday, yeah.
myself, but you know, there's like, okay, we got all the registers open. I'm getting a ton of people going rapid fire, and as I'm going to sleep, I'm like sorting change out. It's like I can't even get a break when I'm sleeping. I'm like lying there
Yeah.
trying to sort out change on the counter. Or if I was working on a short film, I dreamed I would have to be sorting out cables for the cameras and the audio and the XLR and BNC. So I would be
Wow.
informed by what I did during the day. So if I had to do something, and now in LA, you drive a lot. I have dreams that I'm driving, and last night I had a dream that I was getting in horrible car wrecks, like over and over, because I wasn't watching
Wow.
carefully when I pulled right. It's an LA thing
Yeah.
I've noticed. You cannot see out left a lot of times when you're pulling out to go right somewhere. That's not an issue I experience much in Virginia, DC, Maryland, East Coast. It's around here. People really got to pull out far, and that's a little bit
because
dangerous.
cities built right to the edge of every block. Every block's built to the edge.
Yeah.
But usually, hopefully, the city planner will make sure that they put up the no turn on red.
There's
That
not many of
helps.
those
That
here.
helps.
It's really more pulling out of driveways of businesses. And
Okay,
stuff. All
yeah,
kinds
now
of,
that they can't put.
yeah,
that sign
or
up,
just
but-
intersections where
But
there's
like
no
there's an
light.
intersection up the way here, and that.
I think
and-
I was at that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and that one they rightly so put don't turn on red light, which is good because you can't see around enough to pull out ahead.
Do you ever have the dreams where you're kind of flying and it's like you flap your arms and you can fly a little bit, hover for a few seconds?
Yeah, I'm
Those
not a
always
big
get
flyer. Every now and then you hear it more, sometimes on TV, and you hear it from successful people. So I'm wondering what that's about. But
I can never
or really
soar.
talented people.
It's-
Yeah, there's people that talk about flying and soaring. No, I can kind of, I don't necessarily flap my arms. Sometimes I may flap my arms, or I may move my arms or body a certain way, and I can get like a couple feet off the ground. And several times in my life, I've gotten as high as where I could get from the ground to the roof slowly of a building, or get up to 20 feet. But that's rare. Normally, I'm just getting up to about 5 feet off the ground, and that's as much flying as I can do. So I wouldn't, you know.
Now, I have
I
dreams
would-
pretty regularly of that where I'll be going down the sidewalk, floating over it. Sometimes I'll get up high over trees.
I have
and
to
stuff,
work
but-
to levitate. I feel like I can levitate in my dreams. When I get this feeling, I have to work at it. And the minute if I didn't concentrate, I would just go right back.
That's exactly how it is for me. I wonder if it's like that for you all out there, the viewers. But so think back to your dreams. But I would have to flap my arms and do this, and I could hover.
Well, you hear
Sometimes I
that
could
most
sort of
people
fly.
can't fly in their dreams.
Really, I don't know about
But
that. I've
some
never heard
people
that.
will say that. And
I wonder if
so-
there's been studies on that. Because again, I would dream that, and like you said, I would have to keep my mind focused on it, or I'd fall to the ground. And it's all. Here's the thing that gets me: how do I fall for it every time? Because you'd think I would be aware in my dream, oh, it's a dream, it's fake. Nope. Every time I think I can honestly do it, and I think it's the real world, and then I wake up and realize, oh, like I was just dreaming.
Yeah, yeah.
How do I fool myself like that? Isn't that
I don't know.
incredible?
I don't know. But there's a book out there. It's a great book. It's called The Ape That Spoke. And this book it just talks about, it talks a little bit why dreams feel real. And then it also just talks about, and then another part talks about how you feel alive. And then that because we speak, we organize our thoughts. And then the next step was eventually we started to write, and then that organized our thoughts even better. It organized them to such a point that you could work on a project like a building or a pyramid or whatever, or a bridge, and then you didn't have to be there to finish it. Unlike the old days when you only transferred things by voice, you had to get your projects done within a lifetime, or they weren't going to get done. And then when they were writing, then generations could work on the same project without having to.
I see.
Yeah, and now we have the third stage, which is computers.
Wow.
But anyway, it's getting back to what brought me is that, well, why does a dream feel real? And the book kind of explains, it's wherever you're at, that's what your reality is. And so
I would have, you're speaking of your mom and your brother, the type of dreams I would have like that were, sometimes of family members, but sometimes fighting them. But I would have like of women I was interested, ex-girlfriends, and they would be horribly painful because I would dream that they were like taunting me, like they wouldn't speak to me. And it's not like things ended badly necessarily, but like they would be there with their new boyfriend. And a couple times I had nightmares that I got someone pregnant. But usually it would be they see me, and this would be like a girlfriend from years ago that like I thought, it's history, who cares? And my mind would like torture me with it by seeing her, and she's like won't talk to me, and she might be interested in another guy, and she doesn't care that he's right in front of me, and I'm like trapped in this dream, and I'm like, man, why can't I stop dreaming about that? Like I've not thought about this person in a while, but the subconscious mind, man, mine gets rolling. I don't know what that is, if that's people who are in the arts, like filmmaking like me, or I don't know about other people. I don't know if you're like that. But it just stays rattling around in there.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, well, it beats me.
I don't know. Anyway, so Hey, finally the air conditioner came on.
It feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah,
now,
thank God.
Here's something for you. I can't sleep if the AC's blowing on me. So when I was living in that house right there, oh, look at me, I'm on the phone. I'm a little bored, I guess. There was a vent up there in the ceiling. This house had beautiful ventilation for the AC. I'm getting choked up just thinking about it. But it would blow onto my face. And so I am such a light sleep, the breeze will knock me out of my sleep. And I had to close the vents. You had that little like switch you could shing, and it would just flatten the slats on it, because I'm such a light sleeper. Now, are you a light sleeper, or are you a deep sleeper?
I'm a deep sleeper.
I envy you.
Yeah, I sleep good. But my thing is it's weird. Somebody can get up in the when I've slept with people in the past, they can get up, and they can. Back in the '90s when I was married, she'd get up, but she was a light sleeper, and she'd sometimes wake up in the night. She could wake up and turn on the light on her side of the bed and read a book, and it wouldn't bother me at all. But it's weird. I don't like intentional white noise. And I had this one girlfriend one time in the early 2000s, and she always needed some kind of white noise, particularly a fan. And I didn't like the fan on me. That was one thing. So she'd have to angle it where it only blew on her. And then in the winter, she kind of would angle it more so it wouldn't blow on her too much because it was winter. But she needed it on. And I kind of was training her near the end where she started not turning it on. And I said, don't turn it on. And she goes, well, what happens if because at her place where we were staying, she was kind of staying in this house, and there was leaves out back, because there wasn't a pathway behind our bedroom window. There was just trees and leaves, and then you walked around the other way. Anyway, so she goes, well, what if a cat walks around out behind our window and steps on the leaves? And I go, So what? Just let it do it. Don't let, that's fine. I go, matter of fact, I want to know if something's walking on the leaves. With your goddamn fan on, I don't know what's going on outside. Someone could come in.
Oh, man.
I wouldn't hear it coming. I go, this way, I can like, all right. It's a cat. And I go, just get into it. So she kind of started getting into it. I go, and then it was like kind of peaceful, because you're kind of aware of your surroundings. And it makes you sleep better, I think, because there's an ebb and flow throughout the evening. There are little possums that run by, a little bat that goes by, the car may drive by, especially if it's far enough away or it doesn't make much noise. I like the silence of night and just, I don't know.
I don't mind a little traffic noise, but that's
Yeah,
about
not
the
too
extent
much.
of it.
Yeah, not too much.
Just a little
but,
in the distance. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's another one. While we're talking on homes and circumstances we're sleeping in, I really had trouble with my landlord for a while. I really didn't like my landlord, and
Yeah.
I had a dream one night that I was dealing with a landlord. Now it wasn't my landlord. I was living in a home. It was like with this Asian family, and it was kind of a beautiful house. And I dreamed that I went to the bathroom, I think, and I came out, and this was a nightmare. So again, this is
was
like
a
a little
nightmare.
nightmare. It was a nightmare.
Yeah.
So you see where this is, it sounds mundane, but I don't have
Yeah.
mundane dreams.
Oh,
I
have a lot of mundane dreams. I'm just
I
doing
envy
things.
you
I'm
again.
just doing things. I'm just,
No, it's always some horrific scenario.
Oh wow! I'm so sorry to hear that.
I'm in there, I'm with this family, they're making dinner or whatever. I go to the bathroom, come out, and someone else goes to the bathroom. And then the landlord, it was like the dad of the family or something, came up to me and said, you went to the bathroom in the sink. Like you took a dump in the sink.
Yeah.
So we're not we're gonna evict you.
Why'd you do that?
And I was so enraged. Because I was I was falsely accused. That's another thing. False accusations. Always in my dream. I'm worried I'm going to get, like I did some crime before the dream started. And it's like, and I'm being chased by the police. So it's like, well, how can you blame me for a crime I had no control over? I may have done it before the dream started with it. So I'm furious. I'm like, I did not. How dare you accuse me of this? It enraged me. And then it's like the cousin or something walked over and started laughing, stuck up his hand and said, actually, I'm the one who shit in the sink. So he admitted to it. And so I was clear. And then the dad started laughing like, oh, okay. So it was okay that he did it, but I was so relieved. I didn't care that he wasn't punishing him. But see, my nightmares were being evicted at that point. Because I was so preoccupied with my landlord, even though it almost would have been doing me a favor because I really didn't like my landlord or my roommates. But that was getting into my dreams.
That's it? Oh. Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, hope you had a good time here watching Let Me Sleep on It. I'm here with Dirk, my guest, and I'm Angelo, the host, and we've had some fun. We had some serious moments talking about
and you're wearing your Spanx.
dreams.
That's interesting.
And I think, if you don't mind, why don't you let me sleep on it? And you tell me your dreams. Good night.
You ever breathe in a snore and then just farted it out? Just had to go all the way through?